How's it going, guys? Coach Paul here. We're back with another Chalk Talk. Last week we discussed at what age should youth athletes start training. I just kind of want to piggyback off of that, and it's kind of more about the word expectations, from parents or even older players, and how things can be misperceived of where they're actually at, in their gameplay. So what I mean by this is, I see so many times throughout the years now with these, say, flag football leagues or 7-on-7 pylon leagues, where you have, per se, an 8-year-old that's out there simply crushing it. And sometimes they get put on a pedestal, and this is any age, not just the 8-year-old. It could be ages, 12 years old, 7-on-7, just one of these leagues where it's not tackle yet. And they're out there just simply crushing it. And I've talked about this so many times before where, some kids just athletically have it. Their motor skills and everything's just a lot. They have it. They didn't have to really hone into it or wait for it. They have it at a young age. Now, just because they have it at an early age, it doesn't mean that the other kids, and this is a good thing for you parents who worry if your child is behind, um, they're not behind. It's just simply their motor skills and everything else hasn't caught up, or didn't kick in as fast as those other kids. So my point is, even when in my story growing up, I've shared this many times before. We didn't have these big flag football leagues or 7-on-7 leagues back then. Our flag football, games consisted of a pell league at a park that played against other parks in the area. And there's definitely nothing to be based off of that. But let's say transition to tackle football in Pop Warner. I remember growing up with kids that, man, they were just crushing it. They were just faster than everybody, stronger. They moved better than everybody else. And the great part about that is players who weren't as developed like myself would see this, and we try to work hard to get like them. Now, a couple things can happen. Those kids who were more advanced, and just God bless them early to have these athletic skills, at a young age. Um, Somewhere in there, a couple things happened where they didn't work as hard. Whereas people like myself had to work hard to try to get to that point of where they were. So we were busting our butts in the off season, whatever that meant before. It was nothing like we offer here today, but we busted our butts in the off season trying to get better. And what happened eventually is those kids who were simply crushing it, and people thought in the community that these guys were going to be the best players in high school. And a lot of these players, then I'm just talking during my time, didn't even end up playing high school football. Now maybe they played their freshman season and just never played again. And for many reasons, but I think a big reason was discouragement, because they were so used to being the top dog and being the stronger, faster kids, where a lot of us started growing. We got taller, we got faster, we got stronger, and we surpassed, the levels that they were at. So again, just wherever your child is at, your young athlete is at a young age, you cannot compare them to other kids. And for the ones who have that kid who are more advanced, at an early age, um, remember this, and this is for everyone. I was just sharing a conversation about this with someone today, where I can watch, a video, I can go watch live and watch kids play. And yes, kids can simply be running up and down that field scoring touchdowns. Um, the thing about, for me, in my trainer's eye, I look at their movements. And, that's a lot of what we train on, is no wasted movement and just the way they move to be more efficient and to be more athletic. Um, the majority of kids that I see out on that field, which is a lot of them, are not athletically moving the way I would want them to as a trainer. So imagine this: if your young athlete is already killing on the field and hasn't had much professional training, from a sports performance program, um, imagine what they would be like if they did. get themselves involved into one. And I've seen it firsthand. I've seen it through many years where, we've trained kids from when they were 5 or 6 years old. Today they're like 10, 12 years old. And just on the field, you can see the major difference. Not just being faster, not being able to just catch the ball better. That does play a lot of what we teach with these young athletes, but athletically you see it. We built a solid base for these kids throughout the years to where it's showing. And that's the solid foundation we want your young athlete to have when they get to high school, especially. So it's real crucial, as I mentioned in last week's video, from the ages 6 to 12, it's really crucial what we're teaching them at this age, right? I always preach how you train is how you practice is how you play. So, like I say, it's always great that, people take incentive to go out and train kids, and, they don't have much knowledge, but they're willing to get out and look at some YouTube videos or maybe show them what they did in the way back past heydays. But I know sometimes the point is, yeah, but it's just the money. It's we can't afford for the training. Here's what I can promise you, and I can say is you can't afford not to. If you're the cost of our training is not a lot. I can 100% say that. And some people have a misconception and they think it's really expensive. Where we see them take their kids to another training, and I look at their price and I'm like, you're actually paying more for that. At a park where you don't even that's not even a top-rated trainer that knows what they're doing. It's just it just seems available. It seems cheap, but really it's not. If you are trying to take your kid to the next level, we have to get them with people who really know what they're doing. So I always say, when you get them involved in a program, you got to ask questions, know what their backgrounds are in sports, number one. What is their workout experience, number two? What are their philosophies in their training, number three? Um, when we talk about the experience, how many clients have they actually worked with whatever philosophies they're sharing with you that actually gave results, good results, great results? You know, um, you know, doing that background, you can't just look at a price or a relationship and say, this is where I'm going to send them just because of that. If you want to get your kid to a higher level of play, meaning high school, college, maybe even pro, you have to have them training like one immediately, with people who really know what they're doing. So that can be, when I say that you can't afford not to put them in a program, say someone like us, is because in the long run, if they don't earn an academic or an athletic scholarship, then that's where the finances really are going to come in, and they or yourself or both of you are going to be in a hole before they even start their education or their work careers. So this is a time, and the key word is investment. You invest into your kids to get them more athletic, to get them to help reach their goals, not only physically, but our whole thing in our program is getting kids mentally right as well. So if they don't end up playing sports, at least they have a solid foundation in life in general. They're going to be great leaders in our community. They might be some of our governors. They might be some of our mayors, leading workforces that build incredible things on our island. I mean, that's the goal at the end of the day, is to build solid people that are going to be future leaders of Hawaii. So um, again, it was just something that was on my heart, and I wanted to share that, we got to look at this in ways where um, it's not just something you try. It's not something that I don't think I can afford. If you have goals or your child has goals, then you have to afford it. It's a small price investment to pay to get them to excel in life in general. And again, it's not something that you do one time. It's not something you take advantage of for 1 week and never come back. If you really have goals, it's consistency over a long period of time in anything you do that helps you reach your goals. So, we have athletes that come for 3 months straight. They take a month off because they have season or whatnot, and they come right back. Um, For the ones who really see value in what we do, we see them all year round. You know, we see them in the off season. They come back once or twice a week during in season, and we just watch their progress come through over and over again for the years. So, um, with that said, gang, you know, it doesn't hurt, again, calling, asking questions to see if it's a right fit for you here at Phase One. If you have a trainer that you're looking into elsewhere, do the same thing. And I always tell people, hey, what's good for one person is not good for everyone. But I can tell you something, that we here at Phase One, we take your goals and make it ours. It's not the other way around, where we have goals, where it's money driven or anything else. We want you to win to whatever it is that you set out to win at. So you guys have a great weekend. Be blessed, and we'll see you all soon. Peace.